this is a very serious thing I'm doing right now. But I think it's the idea combined with the intensity of the attack.
That at Conan O'Brien's the night that Rob and Michelle were killed. They had been there and they had brought their son Nick, who by all accounts had been acting inappropriately, and he filled in some of those details in this report, which he then spoke about on CNN, SOT 3.
During the party, he was approaching people there, asking questions that, in that context, seemed confrontational, strange. Especially, are you famous? Asking people there, are you famous? So you can imagine a party of actual famous people and fame adjacent people who are really used to strange behavior out in public, but here they are at a gathering of their peers at a party hosted by Conan. It was unsettling to some. So Bill Hader was one of the people he approached at the party. There was an awkward exchange made more awkward by the fact that he had met Hader earlier in the night. Rob had introduced him. So when he came up and asked him questions such as, what's your name? Are you famous? It was unsettling and described as scary from Hader's perspective.
Just hours before Hollywood was rocked by the shocking deaths of Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle Singer Reiner, something dark was already unfolding behind closed doors. What should have been a chill, festive night turned into pure chaos, and now everyone's talking about it.
Will you sign? I'm going in the back.
Wait a minute.
Really nice. Thank you. That was sweet. Thank you.
See ya. Hey, Conan.
Thank you, guys. Take it easy.
Where's the guy? I have to go walk to the guy. Conan O'Brien, do you have him?
You were steadfast. You were very...
According to multiple reports, what went down at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party on December 13 wasn't just awkward, it was downright unsettling. Guests who were there claim the night spiraled fast, with Rob Reiner and his son Nick caught up in a heated emotional showdown that had people stepping back in shock. Witnesses say the tension got so bad that one guest even whispered about calling 911. But apparently, Conan himself shut that idea down quick, saying the cops weren't coming to his house no matter what. That decision has left a lot of people stunned and asking serious questions. Insiders told outlets like Daily Mail and TMZ that Nick Reiner was on edge the entire night, pacing around, cutting into conversations, and acting in a way that made everyone uncomfortable. Things hit a boiling point when Nick started yelling at his parents, and the argument got so loud that everyone nearby froze in disbelief. It was a night that no one there will ever forget. The mood inside that mansion got tense fast. People started realizing this wasn't just some awkward family spat anymore.
Think about it, Glenn. It wasn't just this guy Hader, but apparently Nick was going up to all these famous people, if you listen to the longer interview, all these famous people at Conan O'Brien's house. And he was making the point, the reporter there, that in a room full of famous people at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party, it's very strange to keep asking people, are you famous? Right? It's one thing if one famous person shows up at a party of non-famous people and then meets somebody who doesn't know who they are, and the person says, oh, are you famous?
Guests were whispering that things had gone way past the point of being uncomfortable, and some felt it was serious enough to call for real help. One insider spilled that a few guests even started talking about whether Nick should be put on a mental health hold, something that would have meant getting emergency services involved. But right when that talk started heating up, sources say Conan O'Brien stepped in hard as the host of the night. According to people who were there, Conan made it crystal clear that no one was calling 911. He didn't want any police cars pulling up to his front gate, not during his holiday party. Those close to the situation insist his call wasn't meant to ignore what was happening. He just wanted to calm things down and keep the chaos from turning into a full-blown public scene.
It's okay for you.
It's okay, I know what it is.
Death in the family.
Yep. My parents passed.
Well, first, let me just say the timeline, because I have it here. I wrote it down last year because the timeline was so good.
Yeah.
And
someone close to the party said the vibe that night was tense, but not yet seen as truly dangerous. At least that's how it felt in the moment. Now looking back, everyone sees things very differently, and that one decision not to call for help is being judged hard. Law enforcement later confirmed that not a single 911 call came from Conan O'Brien's house that night. And then, less than a day later, the news broke. Rob and Michelle Reiner were found dead inside their Brentwood home. Authorities quickly confirmed it was a homicide, shaking Hollywood to its core. Their son Nick Reiner was arrested soon after and hit with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Prosecutors believe the tragedy unfolded in the early hours of December 14th, just after the family got home from that party. Nick hasn't entered a plea yet, and the case is still unfolding, but the questions surrounding it are haunting everyone who was there. Since those revelations dropped, social media and entertainment outlets have exploded with debate. People keep asking, should someone have stepped in earlier? Could this nightmare have been stopped? Experts are warning against making it too simple, though. Mental health professionals are saying that even when red flags show up, predicting a violent outburst like this is nearly impossible. Former law enforcement officers have also spoken up, reminding everyone that calling the cops doesn't always stop what comes next. Even if police had shown up that night, it might not have prevented what happened later, especially if the person at the center of it all ended up right back in the same storm.
You know, things that Nick had gone through and how I had related to it and how his mother had related to it, it forced me to have to see more clearly and understand more deeply what Nick had gone through. And I think it forced him to see things that I had experienced during this process. And it definitely brought us closer together. I mean, it was like over a period of a year. It was intense. It was difficult at times, but it was also the most satisfying creative experience I've ever had.
People close to Conan O'Brien have been quick to stress that he hasn't been accused of any wrongdoing. The blame, they say, falls entirely on the person who actually committed the horrific act. Those defending Conan insist his choice to stop guests from calling the police was made in the heat of the moment, under heavy pressure with no way of knowing the nightmare that was about to unfold.
Did you have any idea that this would come at the hands of the son?
No, I did not. No, that was not. I didn't know the children very well, except Tracy, because I'd also done a movie with Penny, so Tracy was around a lot.
One person who was at the party reportedly said, "Only the murderer is responsible," but admitted that everyone who was there can't stop thinking about the what-ifs. That haunting question, could something have been done differently, is still echoing through Hollywood. Making the tragedy even more heartbreaking are reports that Rob Reiner had quietly opened up to close friends at the party, saying he was scared of his own son.
Is it hard to reveal that stuff for you? That would seem to be hard for me.
It's not hard to reveal that stuff. It's only hard to reveal that stuff to then get told you're a spoiled white rich kid, and it's like, okay, maybe all these things.
Well, who would say that to you? Not your dad.
No, but the world, listen, I had to talk to him about this. Listen, I know what it's like to be the son of, and to have people assume certain things about you, and it's very, very difficult.
Well, how did you handle that?
Well,
obviously you didn't go to drugs, but you must have had those issues. Your father's an icon.
In the 60s, there was plenty of drugs around.
Yeah.
But you just have to know what you do, and that you have to block out all that extraneous noise.
Those comments, which later resurfaced at a private memorial, reportedly brought people to tears. It's a chilling thought that Rob might have sensed the storm coming, but didn't know how close it really was. Even though some reps have tried to dispute parts of those claims, the idea that Rob himself felt real fear before that night has only made the public even more obsessed with what really happened in those final tragic hours. As investigators keep digging and the court case moves ahead, that tense moment at Conan O'Brien's party has turned into something much bigger, a haunting reminder of how one quick decision can look completely different after tragedy strikes. What once seemed like a host just trying to calm a messy situation now feels like the start of something far darker, a decision that people can't stop re-examining. Now every little detail from that night is being replayed and questioned. Could someone have stepped in sooner? Were the warning signs right there in front of everyone? Those questions hang heavy in the air, not because they bring any comfort, but because they reveal a hard truth. Even the people closest to a breaking point often don't see how bad things really are until it's already too late. It's a chilling lesson that still has Hollywood shaken. In the weeks since the tragedy, the shockwaves haven't stopped, and neither have the whispers. Inside Hollywood circles, everyone's talking about the night at Conan O'Brien's mansion, trying to piece together what really went down before everything fell apart. Rumors have been spreading like wildfire, with insiders claiming that tensions between Nick and his parents had been brewing for months before that fateful party. People close to the Reiner family say there had been quiet concern about Nick's behavior long before December 13, but nobody thought it would ever come to this. Some friends say Rob had been doing everything he could to help his son get back on track. But behind closed doors, things were spiraling. Meanwhile, sources close to Conan say he's been devastated by what happened and has barely spoken publicly since. Friends describe him as heartbroken and deeply shaken, struggling to make sense of how a night meant for laughter and celebration turned into the prelude to something so tragic. As the investigation continues, Hollywood insiders are bracing for more revelations. Leaked texts, unseen footage, and conflicting stories are said to be circulating quietly among reporters. Everyone wants to know who really saw what that night and what was said that hasn't yet come out. The truth, it seems, might still be hiding in plain sight. As the media frenzy grows, the story around that fateful night has only gotten more tangled. Every outlet in town wants an exclusive. Every insider claims to know more, and every news source seems to twist the story just a little further. Some reports now suggest there might have been a heated exchange involving another high-profile guest right before things went south. But no one's naming names yet. Several guests have reportedly been contacted by investigators, asked to hand over photos, videos, and text messages from that night. One person close to the probe said detectives believe someone captured a moment that could change the entire timeline of events. That single piece of evidence, if real, could reveal just how intense things got before the Reiners left the party. Meanwhile, online forums have exploded with wild theories, some blaming the Hollywood lifestyle, others claiming cover-ups and hidden agendas. It's become more than just a murder case, it's turned into a full-blown Hollywood mystery that's got everyone watching, waiting and wondering what's going to drop next. In the middle of all this chaos, a few voices have stepped up to remind people that behind the headlines are real lives torn apart. Friends of Rob and Michelle say the couple were known for their kindness, humor, and loyalty, the kind of people who lit up every room they walked into. The thought that their final night ended in fear and tragedy has left their loved ones shattered. Nick Reiner's legal team has already begun crafting a defense, reportedly focusing on his long-standing struggles with mental health. Court insiders say his lawyers plan to argue that the events leading up to the tragedy were the result of a psychological break, not premeditated violence. But prosecutors seem ready to push back hard, promising to expose what they call a calculated and deliberate act. The emotional weight of the case is heavy, and every new update just deepens the heartbreak. Even Hollywood's biggest names are keeping quiet, unsure of what to say, because for once, the usual glitz and glamour have been replaced by pure grief and disbelief. Now whispers about a tell-all interview are sending new shockwaves through the industry. Rumor has it that one of the guests from Conan's party, someone who saw the confrontation up close, has agreed to speak out on camera. According to inside reports, the deal is being negotiated with a major streaming platform, and it could expose never-before-heard details about what actually happened behind those mansion doors. People close to the production say the interview could drop explosive revelations about what Conan saw, what he said, and how the situation escalated right under everyone's nose. Some are calling it unethical. Others say it's the only way the truth will ever come out. Either way, the buzz is already massive, and once that footage airs, the story could take another wild turn. Meanwhile, Conan himself has stayed silent, skipping recent public appearances and canceling planned projects. Friends say he's completely devastated, trying to process the guilt and heartbreak tied to a night that will haunt him forever. Hollywood insiders say the tension is unbearable. Nobody knows who's protecting who or what truths are about to surface next. As Hollywood braces for what's next, one thing's clear: this story isn't close to over. The investigation is still unfolding. More witnesses are expected to come forward, and the media storm shows no signs of slowing down. Every new headline brings another layer of shock, another rumor, another piece of a puzzle that keeps getting darker. Authorities are keeping tight-lipped about new evidence, but whispers suggest they're reviewing security footage from outside Conan's property, hoping to track exactly when the Reiners left that night. If confirmed, that timeline could either back up or blow apart everything that's been said so far. Behind the scenes, those who were at the party are still reeling, replaying every second in their heads. Some have even hired their own lawyers, scared of being dragged into the chaos. Hollywood has seen scandals before, but nothing quite like this. A chilling mix of fame, family, and tragedy that's left even the most seasoned insiders speechless. And with so many secrets still buried, everyone's asking the same thing: What truth is left to uncover, and who will dare to speak it first? As the dust slowly settles, Hollywood is left staring at the wreckage of a story that feels almost too tragic to believe. From a star-studded Christmas party meant to spread cheer, to a heartbreaking double tragedy that's shaken an entire industry, this saga has become a cautionary tale about how quickly everything can fall apart. Conan O'Brien remains out of the public eye, trying to heal from the aftermath of that unforgettable night. Friends say he's been deeply reflective, leaning on loved ones and staying away from the spotlight while the world keeps dissecting what happened. Meanwhile, Nick Reiner's court case looms large, promising more shocking details as the legal battle continues. Everyone's watching, waiting for answers, but closure still feels miles away. This story has exposed the fragile line between fame and real life, a reminder that behind the laughter, the lights, and the luxury, there are struggles no one sees until it's far too late. And as the cameras fade and the headlines quiet down, one thing's certain: the echoes of that night at Conan's mansion will haunt Hollywood for years to come. If you've been following this story and want to stay up to date on every twist and turn, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below. Your thoughts matter. And this conversation is far from over. Let's talk about it.